You go into battle, you don't know whether you're going to live, die, win, lose. You're just going to go in there and give it your best shot.
I'd never been in as fast a match in my life.
That was the highlight of my career, I have to say.
I don't think I've ever seen a game of rugby league in either code which was so enthralling and never had a try in it.
Still people in Wigan talk about I was there that night.
To be playing in a game like that, of that magnitude, only 2 years later against the Canberra Raiders, it was an amazing experience, and to actually win it was phenomenal. I don't think anyone gave us a cat and house chance, and if we were honest, we probably would have put our money on Canberra ourselves that night. In '94, that was a very special year.
Nobody spoke in Brisbane. It was the silent dressing room, and I think that came from fear.
We were scared, to be honest. That's what we were scared. But you know, that's what happens when you go into battle.
He heads off for the line. Clark will come out of there like a rag doll if he's not careful.
The scenes at the end of the game were, amazing. Just the joy, really. Firstly, that we hadn't got beaten up, and secondly, that we'd won the game.
That was probably the one that stands out for me, was the 2001.
I remember going into the game, no one really gave us much of a chance. We've been written off in the press, and I think the only people that believed we could win was probably the 17 guys that took the field on that night.
It was an amazing feeling, not just for us as players and the club, St Helens, but for British Rugby League as well.
In Rugby League, you just get it rammed down your neck about Australia and how good their competition is. We beat a very good side that night.
The Bulls are champions of the world.
Certainly a highlight of my career, playing in that game.
It was a very special night, and just remember the atmosphere being electric, really.
You can't take it away from us that they came to play, and we were just better on the night. For a club, it really did kickstart us into achieving a bit of success.
Greatest day of our lives. It's going to be a big challenge. We're Manly, a class side, and we've got some great players.
It'll be a close game of call, I reckon. I reckon this is probably going to be Leeds' biggest challenge yet.
There's no excuse from both sides. It's the best for England, the best for Australia on the day, and that's what's going to come down to.
So who is going to rule the world in 2009? Leeds are Super League's finest. Manly are Australia's best. Two worlds collide at Elland Road. It's the 2009 Carnegie World Club Challenge. We might not be the best internationally, but over the past 10 years, British clubs have certainly had the better of things against their NRL counterparts. Super League clubs have won each of the last 5 World Club Challenges, and Leeds Rhinos and their fans go for history tonight. No team has ever retained the crown. Well, there's a massive crowd in here, and they are all breathing a sigh of relief because the little man, Rob Burrow, the little man with the biggest heart, is fit to play for the Leeds Rhinos. Steve-O, this is a huge boost for the British champions.
Certainly is, but it's also a huge gamble by Brian McLennan. It's been noted that perhaps he could have played a fortnight ago. Has he just been saving the little fella? But Rob Burrow and his battle tonight with Matt Orford. Two contrasting styles in many ways. Rob Burrow, opportunist, scoring the try. Matt Orford, the man that's so creative. The man who won the Best Player Award down in Australia last season, and let's not forget that his combination with Jamie Lyon in the two halfback positions certainly steered the Manly Warringah side to victory. Surprising for me that Des Hasler, the Manly coach, has decided to put Chris Bailey there at standoff when they had so much success with Lyon and Matt Orford.
Okay, it's a lovely night. This is the way the two teams line up. It's Lee Smith at full-back for Leeds. Then they go Scott Donald, Carl Ablett, Keith Senior and Ryan Hall, who I understand passed a fitness test only yesterday and will play here tonight. Danny Maguire is alongside Rob Burrow. That's the big news for Leeds. The forwards, Kylie Luluai, Matt Diskin and Jamie Peacock. Jamie Jones-Buchanan and Ian Kirk starts. Ali Lauatiti then will take his place on the bench, and Kevin Sinfield will play in his preferred position as loose forward. He's the captain. And on the bench, there is Lauatiti, Ryan Bailey, Luke Burgess, and this effervescent youngster, Callum Watkins. It could be his big night tonight. The coach is Brian McLennan. Now, the Manly Sea Eagles, Brett Stewart at fullback, Michael Robertson, Jamie Lyon, he needs no introduction from his time at St Helens, a former man of steel, Steve Matai, David Williams, Chris Bailey, and Matt Orford, the captain, best player in the NRL last year. Jason King, Mac Ballin and Josh Perry up front. It's Anthony Watmoe and Glenn Hall in the second row, with Glenn Stewart, the brother of the fullback, at loose forward. And on the bench, it's Heath Lestrange, Shane Rodney, George Rose, and wearing 18 tonight, it's Shane Rodney, and wearing 15 tonight is Adam Cuthbertson. Apologies for that. But Brian McLennan has set his stall out to win the World Club Challenge for the second year in a row, and he knows that no team has ever achieved that before. This ground holds no fears for him. The Rhinos won here against Melbourne last year, and of course he won the Tri-Nations in the colours of New Zealand against the Australians just a couple of years ago. Brian Noble is our special guest here tonight. He won 3 world crowns as coach at Bradford. He's breathing a little easier now that Wigan's season is up and running following the win at Harlequins last night. Brian, can Super League reign supreme here again tonight?
I think it's really important that we focus on the fact that British clubs have had tremendous success in this competition. Manly may be a little bit undercooked. Please don't think I'm underestimating this Sea Eagles side. They're a terrific outfit, but Leeds have that winning desire. You've seen how they hang in games at the start of this season, and you've seen how they can win games from nothing and still play. The talisman is back in Rob Burrow. He'll cause Manly some problems, and also Manly, whilst their arrogance, if you like, if that's an arrogance born out of ability, will come to the fore. They feel if they share the possession, they can win any game, but they may be just a little bit undercooked.
We shall see. They enjoyed a 34-26 victory in their warm-up game against Harlequins last Sunday. They won the last 6 of 2008 to take their first premiership in 12 years and their 7th in their 62-year history. Leeds Rhinos, back-to-back Super League champions. Phil, can they be back-to-back World Club champions?
Well, Leeds have only conceded 2 tries in 4 hours of competitive rugby league this year so far. It's a pretty outstanding defensive effort, but they haven't played against a side with the pace or precision of the Manly Sea Eagles to date. Do you know what? If you like this game and this sport played at high speed and high intensity, you're going to love this match, I can guarantee you. In the winger and the 2 wingers and fullback for Manly were 3 of the top 10 try scorers in the NRL last year. And I know that Manly will entertain. Leeds always do.
Well, they beat Melbourne Storm here 11-4 12 months ago in the wind and the rain. Now can they become the first ever to retain this World Club Challenge? 3 straight wins for the Rhinos at the start of Super League 14. They're unbeaten since September the 19th last year when they lost to St Helens in the playoffs. Their last defeat in the city at home was also to St Helens on the 20th of June, 26 points to 12. But Matt Orford, Steve-O, is the danger man.
It's an amazing stat to think that Matt Orford, classified as one of the best rugby league players in the world, has never ever played for Australia. It just shows you the depth that they have down under. And there is the referee, Jason Robinson, tonight. He will certainly have some sort of influence in regards to, will they allow them to lay on slightly different interpretations, but Leeds have been there, they've done it before. I'm sure their coach Brian McLennan would have had a nice little word in the ear of the referee, as no doubt Des Hasler has done the same. But I'm with you, Phil Clark, this will be a cracker.
Jason Robinson, the referee, blew 26 penalties last week at Warrington in his warm-up match in Super League. We are underway, the World Club Challenge, and there is the first drive-in from Kylie Lulawai, and I suppose how apt that Lulawai, the former Manly man, takes the first challenge from the Manly Sea Eagles. This though now is Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Rob Burrow is the dummy half for Leeds. He finds Maguire. Here is Peacock, and no one has a bigger British heart beating inside his chest than Jamie Peacock. Diskin at dummy half. Lulawai for Leeds. That's the fourth tackle. Leeds still inside their own half. Diskin once again. There's no Danny Badiris, of course. The new man out for a few weeks. He is injured. Kick from Sinfield will bounce and skip its way over the dead ball line eventually. David Williams was not interested in picking that up. He will take the 20 metres, restart it here on the 20-metre mark.
Not surprising, Leeds have opted to kick early in the tackle count. They went on the fourth. So important, Kevin Sinfield, in regards to the kicking game. We've seen it often in the grand final, and of course last year at the same ground, his kicking game was absolutely superb. They've got to try to keep turning this Manly outfit round and send them back towards their own line time and time again.
This match is being seen live in Australia on the Fox Sports Network, and all of the people down under will know that Manly's last defeat was August the 17th against South Sydney, 40 points to 32, one of just 7 defeats from 27 games they played last year. This is Glenn Stewart, great work, he's dropped it, and here goes Ryan Hall.
Quick thinking by Leeds there, loose ball, had it whipped away to the winger.
Nobody seemed to want to take control of that, but Maguire does for Leeds Rhinos. And here's a penalty for Leeds, not standing square at the play of the ball.
Well, a golden opportunity there. Manly was in a good position, and they dropped it, no doubt about it. And
great tackle from Rob Burrow.
Is it ever? Interesting also is Brian McLennan has put Rob Burrow in a dummy half to get him well into the swing of things early.
Jamie Jones-Buchanan here now for Leeds. Diskin waits at dummy half. Rob Burrow, now Maguire. Lyon was the man who shot out of the line to halt Maguire. He plays the ball to Burrow. Now it's Keith Senior. Senior tried to outmuscle him, but oh, the pass is straight into the arms of Lyon. And Manly Sea Eagles have the ball back.
I'm not so sure that Lyon didn't call for that. It looked to me as though Keith Senior, the big centre, twisting and trying to get out of the tackle, would have got the call.
Maybe Jamie Lyon developed an English accent in his time at St Helens.
Looked to me it was called. Yeah.
Just wondered if he did call for it. He'll know every Leeds player, of course, by name and by nickname. I'm sure of that. That was the dummy half Ballin. The ball is tipped inside. Last tackle here as Jason King went to ground. Kicked down the line and is picked up by Lee Smith. Still operating at full-back this year after his man-of-the-match performance in last year's grand final success against St Helens. Quick play the ball from Leeds. Here is Ryan Hall. Gets as far as Glenn Stewart and Chris Bailey.
This is where Leeds can really start taking control of the game, mainly due to the fact that Manly, they'll be a little bit rusty. They've only had one hit out, and really with their first great team, it was only in the second half against the Harlequins. So they'll be rusty early on.
Burrow plays the ball again to Diskin. Here is Maguire. He finds Sinfield. Sinfield goes wide, and it's with Ablett. Ablett is all tied up by Matai. There are 2 others there. Orford is in very quickly.
We talk about Carl Ablett. It's going to be a big night for him. He's got to keep an eye on one of the best centres in the world in Steve Matai.
Crossfield kick here high from Sinfield. But that was very easy for David Williams.
Got to be pretty careful of the Rhinos because they are really explosive. Both the wingers, David Williams, Michael Robertson there.
Here's David Williams trying the World Cup final for Australia against New Zealand. Back end of last year, here he is in possession again. The thing about tonight is that though that last year when Melbourne were here, it was blowing a gale, the wind was horizontal and the rain was as well. And the pitch was quite greasy. It is perfect tonight, absolutely perfect conditions. Neither team can have any excuse at all about the weather.
You're right. There's one of the coaches, Des Haslett, he was very, very happy with the fact that it was dry, fast conditions. Leeds, as you know, they won last year in wet conditions, won the grand final in exactly the same.
That's a poor kick, straight into the arms of Ryan Hall.
I think we should give some credit to the Leeds players, Eddie, who actually put the pressure on Orford. He was the first kick option. More often than not, he will kick the ball, but if Leeds can get to contain him, it makes their life far easier when they have to return that ball.
Burrow again, he's in just about every dummy half position for Leeds, but he's just pushed out of the way here by Matt Diskin, as I say that, as Jamie Jones-Buchanan plays it on halfway. Here now is Peacock. And they know the danger of Jamie Peacock from his international experience with Great Britain and with England. Here now is Sinfield. Good ball to Luluai.
Nearly got through. Good job that Orford went to him. Just getting back to Jamie Peacock. There's a bit of a doubt about his wrist.
High kick here from Danny Maguire. And he allows it to bounce this time, does Williams, and the ball bounces harmlessly over the dead ball line. Early impressions, Brian?
Leeds have obviously targeted Williams as the person to kick to. They think he may be a little bit unstable, maybe they've watched some footage, but they're doing also a great job on kick pressure on Orford. What they've got to do is keep the ball away from Manley. I think they're winning the field to Terry, and there's a penalty here that won't help them early on, which will give Manley field position. If they keep the ball away from Manley, if they make them work hard, they've got a fantastic chance this evening, Leeds.
Well, the tackle on Glenn Hall was deemed to be illegal by Jason Robinson, so that's why Manley have the penalty. Emmy's become the first Australian winners since the Sydney Roosters trounced St Helens at 38-0 in Bolton in 2003.
Well, another Manly club, they feel they're world famous, and it really does irk them to think that they have not ever won the World Club Challenge.
This is Josh Perry. On the second tackle, Manley are inside the Leeds quarter. That's Ballin, the dummy half. The runner was Bailey, and here now is danger with Lyon and Williams cuts inside, and Leeds muscle up and scramble back in defence and bring him down. Only 3 tackles gone though, they're very close here. And this is the other Stewart, it's Glenn Stewart.
Watch for Orford
again.
Watch for Orford bringing someone back on the inside. Des Hazard knows has the power. It's a kick to the corner.
It's a good kick, and it's almost a brilliant kick, but under pressure it was lost over on that far side.
Well, Leeds have certainly learned some lessons from last weekend. You know, Manley scored 2 tries, one with a high kick which Robertson caught and scored in the corner, and they scored a second try on the right wing when Williams went over on a very similar play to the one we saw in that set of 6. That was Manley at their best, but Leeds were able to contain them in the opening 10.
Leeds Rhinos champions 6 times in all: 1961, 1969, 72, 2004, 7 and 8. Oh, but Manley have got it back here with Stewart, and now Leeds have got it back with Jamie Jones Buchanan.
They'll take
and it's
the
a
first
penalty.
tackle.
It's a penalty because Jamie Jones was in an offside position. He knew that immediately as well. He picked the ball up, and I think he thought the referee mightn't see it. He dropped it immediately. Look, bounces off somebody here, comes off Ryan Hall.
It was also touched by Rob Barrow. Not surprisingly, the skill factor from Manley, they wanted into the corner, not interested in taking the 2.
So here they come with Glenn Hall. He really has come good under Des Hasley's coaching at Manley at Brookvale Oval. And now it's a drive in from Josh Perry. Josh Perry getting so close to the line, and Leeds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there around the ball to keep him out. Right on the line, he plays it here to Ballin. He comes back to Orford. Short ball then from Orford. This is Anthony Watmo. Good defence again from Leeds. Ballin once again, looking for Orford and finds him. Orford then looks for the runners. It's Bailey for Manley.
Great tackle there by Buchanan. It had to be. It was a try-saver.
Orford to Lyon. He slips the net off the knees of Williams. 6 to go. Jamie Lyon claims, and the referee, Jason Robinson, agrees. They've got 6 more tackles here, Manley, and they're a metre away from the Rhinos' line. Now they're offside. Sinfield is quick, but he ain't that quick.
He needed to be Superman there. Took the jump, came in on the angle. He suspected that Manley were going to bring the ball back on the inside.
So Jason King will play the ball to Ballin. Here is Orford. This is Stewart, the full-back. They go wide to Robertson. Abbott does well, stands him up. And there was something that Matai saw there, and he's wagging a finger at Danny Maguire. He didn't like that. That's an awful pass. It's very scrappy from Manley, but they have the ball. They retain the possession. There's something going on. Matai's still wagging a finger. And Leeds have got the penalty.
Well, he does have a tendency, and it's sometimes to be too aggressive.
It's for dissent, all of this.
Well, that's the second one for dissent.
Well, you lose your concentration. They were in a wonderful position. They were applying the pressure. Full credit to the Rhinos. They were getting the sliding defence across, and you can see there that Matai, he's not interested in the game.
He thinks Maguire comes in with the knees, doesn't he? That's what his complaint is, to the touches first.
There's a bloke there with a whistle, Phil, and he's got to just concentrate on what he's paid to do, and that is play rugby league football.
Well, Matai and Keith Senior They spent a time in the sin bin after a brawl in the 2006 Tri-Nations defeat for Great Britain in Wellington. And it looks like Matai is up for this, it looks like Manley are up for this, but that is a shoulder, and he left at him, Jason King, and that's why Jason Robinson has given the penalty, and another 10 metres gained forward for Leeds, because another bit of dissent from the Manley players.
Well, he's a bit confused, mainly due to the fact that he just put the shoulder in. I'm not so sure he raised the arm all that high.
Great chance, though, for Leeds, and here comes Jamie Peacock. Well, if anybody thought this was going to be touch and pass, the opening 11 minutes have proved them absolutely wrong. Oh, dear.
It's a knock-on.
It's a penalty for Manley. Someone was tackled without the ball, I think the referee's signal is. It's certainly a penalty to Manley. Well, he blew, as I say, he blew 26 times last week for penalties, and we've already had 9 in this World Club Challenge tonight.
Well, I'm not so sure that Manley want to get into an arm wrestle.
I don't think Leeds do either, Steve-O.
Oh, it looks as though Leeds, they're coming out with the big guns, don't worry. They're having plenty to say to them.
Hold up!
If you can upset a man of the quality of Steve Matai's,
Tackle 1.
shall we say, standing in rugby league.
Held 2. Move, Jamie up!
I don't think it's too difficult, actually,
Stand off.
to upset Steve Matai.
Shortest fuse in the game.
They've been saying plenty, don't worry about it.
Move! 10's here!
Coming up to 12 minutes on the watch, then 0-0. And it's Glenn Stewart. That's a great ball to Lyon. Oh, and the pass from Lyon to Williams was behind the winger. It was dipping as well. It wasn't the best.
He was touched by a Leeds player. That's what the official, Jason Robinson, has said.
He must have got that call from the touch judge. He must have done.
Yep.
Got it right.
Ryan Hall just got the fingertips to it.
No, it's not.
More pressure.
You guys knocked him forward.
So Manley with the head and feet.
As in the modern game, no full back there. Will they do a kick and chase?
Alford fires the pass to Steve Matai.
Helmet, move! 10's here!
Few handling errors early doors here as well, which is probably to be expected. The stakes are very, very high.
Move!
We know what some people in Australia think of the Super League competition, and Leeds are out to prove them wrong. That's a good strong run though here from Glenn Hall.
Held 3! Move! 10 and hold!
There's been a real forward battle so far. Not many opportunities, very few half breaks.
This is Bailey. Oh, brilliant ball round the corner. Lyon gets away from one. Oh, and loses the ball under the pressure from Rob Burrow. Well, I think we worked it out before. It's 15 weeks since Rob Burrow last played a competitive game.
You wouldn't think so, would you? He snaps at their ankles. I suppose when you look at the size of him, he's got no option, but he really does get low, doesn't he? Applies the pressure. Impact.
Heads down. Ball in, Rob.
Well, they're happy. Leeds head and feed now, 20 metres away from their own line. Senior here. He's announced his international retirement as Keith Senior. Wants to concentrate on the latter stages of his career with the Leeds Rhinos. And that's Ian Kirk, who just had a little fumble. Manley seeing more of the football, but as yet not able to do much damage with it. Here is Lee Smith again for Leeds. Space is going to be at a premium tonight. It will take something to break these defences down, something very special. Maybe Diskin can provide it.
Good work. He's got him into a good field position. This is where they take control, especially if they can get a kick into the in-goal area, get the second set of 6.
It's with Burrow. Now it's with Maguire. They've lined up down this left-hand side. Senior helps it on to Ryan Hall. He cuts inside. Good work, though, in defence. It was Glenn Stewart moving back and helping out Jamie Lyon. Burrow, left-footed kick. He was after chasing that himself, but he got a bit of a collision there. But great work from Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Wonderful chase.
Great work, though, wasn't it, by Rob Burrow? Okay, didn't appear to be the best kick, but look whether they've left Manley camped down in their own quarter.
Here goes Lyon again. Jamie Jones and Rob Burrow dealing with that particular threat.
There's a problem out wide for Manley.
Fourth.
It looks like Michael Robertson, I think, has picked up an injury way out there on the left.
I think it's the back row forward, isn't it? Watmore.
Either way, Manly.
That was Jason King we just saw there. He kicked downfield. Lee Smith is after that and pouches it on the fly.
Not the best kick. Oh, good tackle though.
Tremendous tackle from Chris Bailey. Chris Bailey, the former Newcastle Knights standoff half, 7 tries for Newcastle in 2008. He can also play in the back row. He's the new face of 2009 for Manly. He had great versatility to them. Leeds are on halfway with Smith and Peacock. Burrow is flat out. Yep. Burrow has been knocked out here.
Yep.
I think it was a flying tackle from Watmo.
Just make sure
Didn't miss him, did he? Crunched him straight into the ground. Medics are on very, very quickly, which is right, and good work by the official. Jason Robinson stopped the game straight away.
I don't think it was. Do you think it was a dodgy challenge? Having seen it, I think Burrow's slipping, and I think.
Well, he's always pretty low to the ground, isn't he? It's.
I just wonder whether Watmo was onside. He was very quick.
Well, he's going to see when the ball's played. I think he is onside. It's probably just done too slow and rather predictable there from Leeds, wasn't it? That he was going to go behind the first man to the second. Rob Burrow couldn't get out of the way.
I think it's a shoulder that made impact. What say you, Brian?
Yeah, I think a couple of things there. It's a great read from Watmore. He's seen Burrow's going to get the ball out the back because it's a bit of a slow movement, and he's backed himself to get there. Let's bear in mind Rob's not the tallest of blokes, and his defence mechanism comes into play as he tries to go a little bit smaller. So there is an element of a high tackle there, but it's not malicious. It's one of those things. I will say that the game has had a few of them. You know, they're getting into each other, aren't they? But we'll just hope that Rob's okay here.
Well, he's told the stretcher bearers he does not need them.
He's a tough hombre, that is for sure.
He's been involved in the season so far for 15 minutes and 54 seconds. As I said right at the start of this match, he is a little man, but his heart is massive.
And he didn't shy away with the responsibility. He was straight into this game very early, some neat touches down the blind side. They're doing the right thing, let him recover.
Yeah, just let him get the wind back in his sails. He's a great favourite in Leeds. Listen to the applause as he leaves the field.
Not just in Leeds either, all over the country they admire this fella.
Off he comes, and so Leeds will make their second change. It's the long for the short as Big Ali Lauatiti comes on, and Leeds did get the penalty. And they're lucky to get away with that because that came off the legs of Matai.
to scrum.
And they will get head and feet at the scrum.
Well, you've got to praise Brian McLennan for trying something different, but this was intended.
He was.
But why would you try that? Because you're guaranteed the possession if you kick the ball out anyway, Eddie. There's a penalty.
Well, Brian McLennan, the coach, obviously, and the skipper, Kevin Sinfield, feels that they're going to come up with something. They have to come up with something good to beat such a quality side like Manly.
Something just a little bit different. Here's the man who has replaced Rob Burrow. Burrow about 5'4", Lauatiti about 6'5". This is Sinfield. Sinfield back to Lee Smith. He gets away from 2, he gets away from 3, Watmo it was, and then Orford and Watmo come back for a second snap. Maguire at dummy half. Now Peacock.
3.
Peacock's grounded on tackle number 3.
A little bit more running from Diskin, I feel. He's had a couple of raids through.
Sinfield and Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Oh, Senior couldn't take the pass in, and so Brett Stewart picks the ball up.
I'm not so sure that pass was on. To me, Senior had gone through the gap to reach down for it. Cannon sent it away. You could see he'd overrun it. Probably would have been brought back for a forward pass if he'd kept hold of it, and that'll be a penalty. Squeezed out by the big fella Ryan Bailey.
Well, penalty counts keeping going. It's the 11th penalty we've had.
Interesting to get back to the Anthony Watmo, the big hit on Rob Burrow. I couldn't see anything that was untoward, but the official Robinson gave Leeds the penalty for a high shot. Ooh, that was a high shot as well.
Yes, it was Ian Kirk who was a little bit straying with his challenge. Now, This is Glenn Hall. That's the third tackle for Manley, this set of 6.
I just get the impression neither side has settled.
Ballin. Oh, awful pass. And Brett Stewart picks up the pieces for Manley, retains possession for his side. Matar. Going to go down the short side. Head-to-head with Maguire, that's the last. The ball will be given some air here. Lee Smith's under it. Lee Smith claims it. And then he's trapped in goal. It's going to be a goal line dropout here.
Tremendous work by Jamie Lyon. Unbelievable. As soon as Orford launched that, Jamie Lyon came in from the angle from his outside centre position on the right and knew who to target.
Great catch from Smith, though, wasn't it? Under extreme pressure from those two maroon jumpers there. This will be a test for Leeds now.
That ball had snow on it when it came out of the sky. It was so high from Orford. Such hang time. Gave his players the chance to make the tackle. There's Des Hasler. Watching from on high here at Elland Road, up here on the TV gantry, and he's watching as his standoff Chris Bailey drives the ball.
Normally when you get into the first...
I beg your pardon, that was George Rose. Sorry, Stephen.
I'm just saying that after you get past the first quarter, you normally sort of sense that one pack has got on top of the other, but neither so far.
Williams just a juggle from the pass from Brett Stewart. Ballin scampers into dummy half.
You've locked his arm in.
And he'll play the ball. This is Jamie Lyon. Now it's Josh Perry. Good hit. Good hit by Jamie Peacock. Orford, looping pass.
Oh, they're into it. They are really swinging. Peacock and Perry. There's no handbags amongst that lot, I'll tell you.
It's still going.
Oh, there's bullseyes in it.
Perry and Peacock, the two number 10s. We might need a boxing referee in a minute to count to 10.
Thank you.
Well, Orford was throwing a long ball, and these two were throwing long punches, and they were connected. Now, I can't see any claret at the moment. Oh, that was silly from Peacock.
He's no lover of Australians.
Join the queue.
I don't think Josh Perry was too impressed with the original tackle and had something to say.
Well, he went after him, did Peacock. You could see he had the elbow, and then he just threw one.
Tell you what, Perry hasn't missed yet.
No. Yep. I'd have to give it on points to Perry.
It's not over, it carries on, yeah, he gets his breath back and he's on again.
Okay, keeper, put it up.
That was a good one. Oh!
What, 4-2?
You shouldn't be applauding that, Philip. We should be condemning it, but I know what you mean.
This is to become world champions.
Well, Jamie Peacock is going to have 10 minutes to contemplate in the bin, I think.
You've heard the report. It's been babbling along. It's not going to keep happening. Wrong colour.
Oh, he got the red out there and he said wrong colour. Thank goodness for that.
Cool. Thanks, mate.
Is he going? He said cool. Maybe they'll meet on the sideline.
Oh, listen. I know they call Matt Disking disco, but isn't that something you say on the dance floor? Cool or something? I don't know. I'm way out of this these days, but he's joined him. That's good refereeing as well. Just calm things down a little bit.
Two in the sin bin. The only man ever to be sent off in one of these events was a Manly player. It was Ron Gibbs way back in 1987.
He almost decapitated Joe Lydon, actually. That was how bad it was to be sent off, Eddie.
Well, Jamie Peacock has picked up a couple of blows there, as you can see from the blood that's flowing from the top of his head. It's a penalty to Manly at the end of all that.
Will they take the two? This will be interesting. Maybe Des Hasler will say we like to calm things down a bit. No.
Now,
let's apply the pressure.
This is going to be a brave man who takes it in first up, isn't it?
They line it up way out on that left-hand side.
It's Rose. He's still pushing and shoving round the ruck. There really is. That was Ballin, and here now is Rodney. Ballin waits at dummy half again for Manly. He will find Matt Orford, the engineer-in-chief. What? No! Important tackles all over there. Quick play the ball once more. They're over, I think. He is over Brett Stewart. It's the first try to Manly. And Manly capitalise on the sin binning of Jamie Peacock and one of their players as well. But Brett Stewart gets over for the first try. He was 24 years of age on Friday. He is a prolific try scorer in the NRL. 92 tries in 112 appearances for Manly since 2003. And look at his record for last season as well. He's drawn first blood in the World Club Challenge.
Well, he's not noted for scoring tries of this calibre. Normally they're 50, 60 metres downfield. He's such a talent from that full-back position, but he's scrambled over like the best hooker in the world. Run from dummy half. They didn't expect that. Quick thinking there by the full-back.
Matt Orford lining up the conversion here to try and add the extras. This for a 6-0 lead. And 6-0 it is to Manly. Brett Stewart's try, converted by the captain. The Sea Eagles are ahead in the World Club Challenge. Both teams down by one man.
Look at the eyes, that's what Leeds were. They said he's going that way. No, he ain't. He's going to backtrack and go under it. They had the numbers. They should have squeezed him down. That was a great effort.
They have come to win it. There's no question of that. This is no holiday in the back end of the British winter for Manly. They've left the hot conditions back home. They've been here for a fortnight. They have played the Harlequins in a warm-up match, and now this is the real thing. Let's get some news of Rob Burrow. Bill.
Yeah, it seems ages ago that Rob Burrow was flat out, but he is thankfully sitting on the sidelines, looking a bit better, although pretty pale and shaken still is the word from the Leeds sideline. Still just keeping an eye on him. He was certainly aware of what happened, so he wasn't knocked out or anything like that, but he's still feeling a little bit fragile.
Don't blame him. That was brilliant run, meanwhile, while Bill was talking, from Matt Orford. Here is Bailey. Bailey will just dink that into the corner. And, well, I think they might have to... No, I was going to say I think they might just have to run this ball out, but the bounce beat everybody.
And the Leeds have had to work very, very hard here as the ball just bounces over the sideline here, probably to the relief of Lee Smith at the moment, to restrict Manly to just one try. The scramble defence near to their own try line, both on the left and the right, has forced them to work hard. Orford just makes that half break and is contained. But that amount and that style of defensive effort will drain Leeds. They'll need to get to the other end of the field soon. So little of this match has been played on the left half of this field.
Well, they were the first Australian club to take part in this World Club Challenge, that one that we mentioned, 1987, when Gibbs was sent off. They lost 8-2, there were no tries that day. Des Hasler, the current Manly coach, was in their side, and it was played in front of 37,000. Well, that's the official attendance, people who were there, and everyone in Wigan says they were there that night. I think the attendance was nearer 50, but anyway, there was 37,000 in the ground, and it was one of the great occasions of modern-day rugby league, and there are over 30,000 in here tonight to see this one.
Yeah, it was a tremendous night. You couldn't see a slate anywhere because they were sat in the rooms, they were all over the joint.
It was a fantastic night. And this has all the makings of being just the same, because Manly ahead by 6 points to 0 here. The great thing about this Leeds team, though, you know, of the 19-man squad that Brian McLennan named for this game, in the 19-man squad, along with Callum Watkins and Paul McShane, there are 10 Leeds-born players in their squad, 13 of whom have come through the ranks. Only 3 overseas players in the Leeds team tonight, the lowest number in a British team in this World Club Challenge. That's a fantastic testimony to the Leeds Rhinos club.
Fantastic is the word as well, with Kevin Sinfield just mopping up. They've had to work hard as a back three in Leeds. They've done some ground covering up on the tackle, and he's having a blinder, this kid.
And he's made another break, Lee Smith. They eventually scrag into the ground, but look at the amount of territory forward he has made. Scott Donald, once upon a time of the Manly club, to the halfway line.
He's so superb in fullback Lee Smith. We saw in the grand final last year. And he's equal to the task. He can pull it through. He's working overtime both in defence and attack. Manly have to realise they're going to go low on him. He's got great upper body strength, fends them away.
4 tackles gone, 10 metres inside the Manly half for Leeds with Maguire. He dabs it over the top, but that was very well read by the fullback. Surrender! Brett Stewart. Only Bobby Fulton with 129 tries, and Steve Menzies, who's now plying his trade in Super League at the Bulls, scored more tries for Manly than this fellow, and he's not a bad line of defence either.
Movement! He's not in a bad bracket, is he? Bobby Fulton, wow, one of the world's best.
Held 4 tackles gone for Manly in this set of 6, this latest raid on the Leeds line. Ballin will give it to Orford. Short ball from him then to Watmo, who skipped through the first challenge.
Beautiful step. The big second rower.
This is the last. Oh, straight up in the air almost from Ballin. He was given a long time
it's going to bounce
to kick that. Ryan Hall took an almighty gamble. Jamie Lyne was on him in a flash. Here is Lee Smith. Doesn't make much progress this time.
Held 2. The major factor is when it was high.
3.
Oh, you just can't allow them to do that. And Hall was so fortunate.
If you lock him in, I'm not going to penalise him. 4.
Luluai. There's Steve Menzies. With the Bradford Bulls in Super League. But here tonight, and I bet he's supporting Manly.
Held 5. Go.
Not many Manly fans in the crowd tonight. There are 1 or 2 notable exceptions.
Inside.
Sinfield with a high hanging kick. There are about 40 or 50 who have made the long journey to be with their club tonight on this auspicious occasion.
Surrender!
And I've spoken to a few of them, and boy, they're enjoying it, and they've been stunned by the weather.
Yes, quite spring-like after Siberia, start of the month, last month. Penalty here for Manly.
Well, Ablett can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
But as you mentioned, Eddie, when Jason Robinson took his Super League game the other week, he was very happy to keep the whistle blowing.
Hold! Go.
Yes, Warrington against Catalan Dragons. You remember the great shot we had of Jimmy Lowes waiting for him in the players' tunnel at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and as he came past him, Jimmy Lowes gave him one of his looks and just shook his head.
Little offer of advice.
Ballin to Orford. Oh, great ball! And Watmo hits it at pace, and Watmo gets over for the try.
It looked forward, and they've got away with it.
A fantastic try, though, Steve-O.
Yeah, I'm taking
a handful of, or a couple of the handful of Manly fans who are here. Anthony Watmo, what a try! What a pass! And an abject lesson in how to run onto the football from Watmo. He was on the ball and Leeds were on the back foot. Manly are ahead 10-0.
He's agile, is this fella, the big second row, Watmo. But that looked forward to me. It was a delayed pass. And as far as I'm concerned, they've got away with it. Look at this. Boom. That was drifting, but take nothing away from the skill of this fella. We saw a few moments earlier. That's forward, but it has not been seen. Not that Anthony Watmo will worry about it. He's such a creative genius, isn't he, Matt Orford? He really makes this tick. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think Des Hasler is quite happy about it all.
And I think Des Hasler has come over here to take the World Club Challenge trophy home. He is very serious about the business in hand here tonight. Orford, whose pass opened up the Leeds defence, now adds the extras. It's 12-0 to the NRL Premiers, and the Super League champions have it all to do.
They just can't get possession, and they can't get possession in their opponent's half of the field, and that's really what's been difficult. With both teams down to 12 men, Eddie, there were bound to be more spaces in the defensive line, and the team that has the ball and the skill have been able to find them.
Leeds restart, and here is Shane Rodney again. 10 minutes to half-time. It's a crucial 10 minutes as well for Leeds. Brian, they mustn't let Manly score again if they can help it.
And I think they're not helping themselves. You know, we've had a couple of errors at the top half of the field, as Phil's saying. They need a really good defensive set here and try and restrict Manly's territory and then get up to that end of the field themselves. A couple of errors compounded by a couple of penalties don't give the team in maroon a little bit of field position, because they'll do that irrespective of when it was forward or not. That last try, Mike, I tell you what, it was a terrific haul that he hit, and he went at a full pace as well. Nobody's going to stop him, were they?
No, you can't take that away. He's a talent. He's very light on his feet for a big fella. Loves nothing better than to run out wide on that left-hand area.
Both teams, by the way, now back to 13 men, the two prop forwards. Peacock and Perry are back after their spell in the sin bin. There he is. Here's Senior. This is Maguire, but
haven't seen much of him,
nowhere for them to go. They're picking up the ball here and they're standing still when they receive it. Peacock escapes the clutches of Cuthbertson.
Great work there.
Diskin, good ball to Senior now.
Leeds realise they've got to come up with something.
Jamie
This should be the break.
Last one, though, for Leeds. He was looking for a penalty there, Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Sinfield under pressure, just hoists the kick. Stewart is after it and claims it. High ball gets him.
He had time there to make a cup of tea. No protection, but either way. You know, when we were watching this Manly outfit against the Harlequins last week, Eddie, the one thing that really impressed me was the way that they can control the ball. They seem to have this ability to get over the halfway line, and then when they get in the opposition half, they know exactly how to just keep turning the team around. And that's what they're doing. Oh, he's off.
Brilliant. Brilliant on the feet again from Watmo. Stewart's on his inside. He's dropped it.
Can't believe it.
That could have been curtains for Leeds.
And that could see it all turn around. How many times over the years have we seen it when we could have just bottled it all up, put the stopper in and said, give us the trophy? That could just see a complete turnaround. Brilliant stuff. Watmo and Stewart has bombed it.
He can't believe it. Leeds played their big get-out-of-jail card there. Oops, and Burgess has just dropped the get-out-of-jail card.
Well, they've been battered into submission, haven't they, in the opening half an hour of this game. I think Manly have had almost 3 times as much possession in their opponent's half, and I guess that's part because they've worked so hard defensively to fall the sort of mistakes. Look at Watmore there, skipping off that left foot so well, finding a nice soft pass inside to Stewart, and well, it was just too easy for him.
Amazing that a man of that quality, but it does occur. We saw last night down in London, Mana was heading towards man of the match. Chad Randall came up with throwing an intercept, and it just turned the game around. It's amazing how things like that can just put a negative into the heads of this side. Will Manly be professional enough to overcome it?
Cuthbertson gets the ball away. It's Watmo again. He takes the tackle from Callum Watkins, who's out there now. Fascinated to see how Watkins stands up to this massive challenge here tonight. Good hands. Lyon. He has got Williams. Maguire did well. He forced him back on the inside. Tackle's not completed. Now it is.
There's obviously a problem, you know, with Danny Maguire. He's having to play right out on the wing on this left angle.
Look out, here is Orford. Here is Matt Orford. Now it's with Cuthbertson again. Good hands again from the forwards. It's the prop forward, Josh Perry. Now Bailey. And Bailey trying to go alone. The ball comes back.
Play on. Always played the knock on. On the last, okay.
Hold up.
Well, they did well, Leeds, to scramble back. They were in all sorts of trouble, but that defensive line, Brian McLennan, the Leeds coach, is having to squeeze out Danny Maguire on that left-hand area.
And you can't scramble like that for 80 minutes. You see the fatigue now starting to fit in. The work they're having to do in defence, the number of tackles they made, almost twice as many as their opponents. And now that just energises Manly here now. Look how fresh they are, moving forward, containing Leeds. You know, last year in the NRL, Eddie, in all games, Manly in the third quarter scored 4 points for every one they conceded. They blew the teams away after half-time, and Leeds need something special now to hang on, and some magic juice at half-time.
There was an ironic cheer went round the ground then when Jason Robinson gave Leeds the penalty. Watmo the culprit.
They need something special, Leeds, and they've got to come up with maybe something different. They're hitting big and Manly, that is for sure. Oh,
well, he was directing traffic then, Jamie Jones Buchanan, and he wasn't watching as the play the ball came in. It bounced off his foot, and he was lucky to keep hold of it. There he is again at dummy half. This is Peacock. Now it's Maguire. Oh, Lee Smith has put that down. It went backwards though, but they've lost ground. Ryan Hall is tackled by Lyon and Williams. Did well to retain the possession for the Rhinos there. Smith again.
Held 4.
That's the fourth. Lee Smith, of course, who got man of the match in the grand final. And he featured for England in the World Cup. He got a hat-trick against Papua New Guinea in Townsville in our only victory. We didn't really see him again much after that. He was injured.
That's tremendous defence, tremendous pressure. Oh, they've nearly got away with it.
They have got away with it. Maguire for Leeds. Maguire will get over for Leeds, will he? Oh, maybe not.
He's lost
put it down yet.
It's stolen. This will be classified as a dropout, I feel.
But it depends. It depends how it came back, because Maguire was trying to put the ball down, and then there was a Leeds player who came up in support. The ball comes around for Jamie Jones Buchanan. That's okay, I think.
Well, Maguire was pushing. Has he been pushed off the ball? That's what he's got to say. Has Glenn Stewart been pushed away from the ball, but Maguire doesn't get it down. This is wonderful from Orford.
It's Jamie Jones Buchanan who's following up.
I think he loses it. He loses it.
Yes,
what a wonderful effort by Matt Orford.
Look there, that's a try, isn't it?
Yeah, but has it gone forward? Oh, it's come off. If it sneaked it, yeah, you're right.
Has it gone backwards off?
Matt Orford can't pull it out, then the ball come this way, and Danny Maguire must have lost that ball. That can't be a try.
Yeah, I'm with you, Phil.
What's your opinion, Brian?
I think they're going to give a try. I think they're going to say Matt Orford's been involved there and he's tried to pass the ball backwards. If this comes out here from a backwards motion, I think they'll adjudicate a try.
Well, Orford is trying to stop Maguire from scoring the try, and you can see Maguire has deliberately reefed the ball back. So, in my opinion, Maguire's made the motion, which will be classified as a knock-on. Steve Ganson is the video referee for all you back in Australia. Probably remember the World Cup final with, well, I wouldn't say with a smile on your face.
They will in New Zealand. I think this is going to be given.
What about the pace of Orford there to catch Maguire from the side angle?
Here's Steve Ganson's decision. The try for Leeds. Jamie Jones Buchanan gets the try. Maguire was robbed of the ball by Orford on the ground behind the line. The ball came out, and following up was Jamie Jones Buchanan, and he gets the try. Well, it was Maguire and Buchanan who forced the error, and it was Maguire and Buchanan who have produced the four-pointer. Well, we go back to that Brett Stewart fumble with the line at his mercy not too long ago, and we did say then was that a big turning point. Well, instead of being 18-0 down, Leeds might just turn round 12-6 down.
It wasn't the best kick. He was put under a lot of pressure by Anthony Watmo, but it turned out okay in the end. Des Hasler will be thinking, well, what about the obstruction, the pushing on Glenn Stewart, the loose forward? It didn't matter. Steve Ganson said that was okay. That's a controversial try. Oh, he's missed it.
Well, that's not Kevin Sinfield-like at all. He eats those. He gobbles those up for breakfast. So it's 12-4, not 12-6.
Kicking accuracy, Eddie, drops when you start to fatigue, and I think that's a reflection of the amount of the work Kevin Sinfield and his Leeds teammates have had to do to prevent Manly from scoring even more tries. Great, though, comeback there when they've been on the ropes for the last 30 minutes. You're right, you're looking sport. They've just had 4 points of it.
They needed it.
Oh, hang on, this could be sailing out on the full. Lee Smith did well then, but I wonder if he'd have left that, whether that would have gone out on the full. I think it might have done, you know. It would have done, definitely.
It's pretty hard, though, to make a decision when the ball's coming down to you.
Absolutely.
With 30-odd thousand screaming in your ear. Well, there's a little bit more zip in this Leeds outfit at the moment.
A minute to go to half-time.
And it's worth taking another gamble, maybe just a chip over the top with the likes of Maguire.
This is Peacock.
In a good position. No full-back at home at the moment for Manly.
That's the last one.
Still no full-back.
Sinfield jinks away from the despairing tackle of Lestrange and nips it towards the corner. Ryan Hall was after it. Brett Stewart took the gamble, allowed it to cross the whitewash. This will be head and feet at the scrum to Manly.
Not a bad kick, was it? Took the option there, Stewart. Took an eternity to get back into position. Good job that they applied the pressure on Sinfield, but that's how it came about, their first try. It wasn't the best kick from Kevin Sinfield, but it certainly came up trumps.
But it could have been so different, couldn't it? It could have been 18-0, as it is. We're now 12-4 as we approach half-time. Just about enough seconds on the clock for one tackle here. And there it is. Ryan Bailey was seeing to it that nobody was going anywhere. Jamie Jones-Buchanan with the try for the Leeds Rhinos after first Brent Stewart and then Anthony Watmough had scored tries in the opening half hour to give Manly a 12-0 advantage. But then those two players combined, Watmough with the break and Brett Stewart. Stewart dropped the ball with the line at his mercy. That would have been 18-all and maybe curtains for Leeds. As it is, they fought back. Two men in the sin bin in the first half, Peacock and Perry. It's a great World Club challenge here at Elland Road. It's Leeds 4, Manly 12.
Ford Football Special. First, Liverpool look to close the gap at the top.
It's beautiful from Steven Gerrard.
As they take on Sunderland, Tuesday 7:30. Then on Wednesday, Everton.
Let's go there! And would you believe it?
Face a tough trip to Blackburn Rovers. A midweek doubleheader from the Barclays Premier League. This Tuesday and Wednesday, Sky Sports 2 and HD2.
Mazda 2, now with free insurance.
John?
On March 6th,
Jenny, don't leave me!
everything we've known
I feel fear for the last time.
will change. Watchmen.
That when the benefits are passed around, it's good for everyone.
You're making me mad, sucker! Cold water never hurt nobody! It's time to get in the pool! going swimming, fool! Take that, toe dipper! I hate flying, so make this the last time I catch you crying! Snickers, get some nuts!
Hey, this is Audrey Puffton and my brother Glenn, and this is a World of Fart planet we made. So, we start on Bum Mountain. Next is the howling mist of poo smell. Run away from that. Now climb into the bum cannon, pull the finger, ready, aim. Yay!
Little Big Planet.
Play with everything!
Only on PlayStation 3.
Have you seen this, Bill?
Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it?
Oh no, it's bigger than that. You lot can't keep wasting electricity like this. It's costing the Earth.
Are you trying to reduce our carbon emissions, Dad?
Yes, that's right. What she just said. You do a bit of driving. What does a red light mean?
Stop.
That's right. Stop leaving me on standby.
Simple actions reduce both fuel bills and CO2 emissions. Being as energy efficient as possible could save you over £300 a year. Save money, save energy.
The Carnegie World Club Challenge here at Elland Road, and well, it's tight. It might not have been had Brett Stewart not put the ball down with the line at his mercy. Manly could have been 18-0 up and well on the way to victory. As it is, the Rhinos, champions of the Super League, they have fought back. It's 12-4 at half-time, and Brian McLennan, well, he desperately wants to retain this trophy here tonight against the NRL Premiers, but they have played some smashing stuff, haven't they? They really have. They've been quick, and as I say, had Brent Stewart not put that ball down, they could have been far too far away from the Leeds Rhinos right now. Some great tries, Steve-O. Let's have a look at them.
Yeah, but we knew it was going to be tough, Eddie. We knew that it was going to be putting their body on the line, but as it turned out, they really had a big punch up into it. They got straight into it. Peacock into Perry. Perry is just about leading by 4-2 on points here, and it really sparked everybody. The big question is, who was going to respond better? And it turned out to be Manly. He doesn't normally score tries like this, Brent Stewart, but he runs from dummy half. Poor defence by Leeds, and it puts him in a strong position. And as you've already said, Orford's pass here, beautiful stuff. Looked a bit forward to mine, but Watmo has been in outstanding form, scores the try, and at 12-0, it should have been wrapped up. What about the step here from Watmo? What a game he's having, back on the inside. Fullback Stewart, line at his mercy, and perhaps the silverware should have been on the sideboard. It's funny how it can change. Pressure wasn't the best kick, was it? Back on the inside, Maguire, was it stripped? Orford did ever so well. It was given the benefit of the doubt by the video referee, Steve Ganson. Boy, it could go anywhere in the second half.
Well, it could easily go anywhere in the second half. Only 8 points the difference, and we know in these games, Brian Noble, that literally anything can happen. But I do go back to that Brett Stewart fumble in front of the post here. He goes over for that, and you think, well, Leeds have got a lot to do.
It just reminds me of the World Cup final. Darren Lockyer is this much from the ground and putting the ball to go 18-0 up, and New Zealand come back. I think that's a terrific result, not as in a result at the end of the game for the Leeds side, because I think Manly will tire. I think what Leeds have to go back to is completing their sets and making sure. We see here as Brent Stewart puts the ball down there, I think he could shoot himself as well, but the reality, that's gone. Leeds have got to stop giving Manly the chance that they need, because this is uncharted territory now for Manly. They haven't, other than the second half when they put their best side out against the Harlequins, I don't think they've gone 80 minutes. So Leeds have to turn the screw. I think the score just before half-time will give them a terrific lift and give them the impetus to go on with this, Leeds. We may see Burrow back, we might not. I think the need is his ingenuity and his ability to beat people as well. But we've seen the quality of Manly if they let them play at your end. What we need to see is Leeds restricting that quality and getting it at the other end of the field where they have a chance.
I think your point about Rob Burrow is well made, because he was on for 16 minutes and Leeds looked a different side with him, didn't they? He's gone off and they've almost had to dig in. They've had to sort of, I'm trying to man the ramparts, if you
Well,
like.
they lacked a little bit of structure. We've seen a few balls go to net ground because they'll have practiced all week with Rob. Leeds are a good enough team to get over that, and half-time will help them in respect of that. They'll be hoping they can get him back out there because he can score a try, and they'll get on the end of tries. And Leeds will make some breaks if
defences.
Well, they'll just make breaks if he's on the field, and they'll have an opportunity, is what we're saying. They have to execute those opportunities now and take the chance I feel that Manly have given them.
OK, we have a tremendous second half still to come. It's Manly who are just in front. 8 points is the difference. Leeds, though, psychologically, what a great time they scored their try right before half-time. It gives them hope for the second half.
Truly Asia.
You could win up to £250,000 with the Deal or No Deal scratch card from the National Lottery.
It's the best Clive Barker adaptation since Hellraiser. Visually stunning. Midnight Meat Train on DVD.
The cooperative believe that when the benefits are passed around, it's good for everyone.
You making me mad, sucker! Cold water never hurt nobody. It's time to get in the pool. Cause you going swimming, fool! Take that, toe dipper! I hate flying, so make this the last time I catch you crying. Snickers, get them nuts.
Mum and Dad sofa again. Dad's so... My brother Dan's always on Sky Player. I reckon he's watching Fulham get beaten again. And me, I just love anything to do with nature. If it grows, swims or flies, I'm all over it. At the end of the day, we're all happy. Make room for your passions with Multiroom. From drama on your TV to sport online. Sky. Believe in better.
This is the World Club Challenge. This is what Super League looks like this week. Huddersfield Hull, Friday 7:30 Sky Sports 2 HD2. Super League extra time following all of that via the red button on your handsets. And on Saturday, the first blockbuster, Wigan against Bradford.
If we look at all the points, now we see the half-time score, 12 points to 4 in favour of the Seagulls over Leeds. They're still back in it. But we're going to look at all the points scored or conceded by Manly in all of the games they played last year. And the big one that jumps out of you is the next 20 minutes. They outscored their opponents by 4-1 in this next quarter of the game. And this is a vital time for Leeds to refocus.
And Leeds will get us underway in the second half of the Carnegie World Club Challenge 2009. Here we go, 80 minutes. Of course, to make history, 40 minutes remaining now for Leeds to write their names into the record books here. No team has ever retained this crown, but Leeds are absolutely desperate to do that if they possibly can.
Well, they were certainly helped by that controversial try to Jamie Jones-Buchanan. But let's give also credit to Danny Maguire. Johnny on the spot on that occasion. He had a very quiet 39 minutes, but when they were needed, he stood up and got counted.
This is Watmo, who proved in the opening half what a threat he is to the Leeds' ambition here tonight. On halfway in the last tackle, the kick from Orford is angled and across the field, picked up by Lee Smith. Shame that he stumbled. It allowed Heath Lestrange to come in and effect the tackle. Oh, and there's the first penalty to Leeds, start of this second half.
Well, Lestrange claiming to the official, Mr. Robinson, that he's also being grabbed by the Leeds player. Discipline is going to be a key factor in the second half.
It's a great ball from Maguire to Ryan Hall, but he tried to feed Senior, and Jamie Lyme was alert to the threat. Well, that was inventive, wasn't it? It's a shame it didn't come off for them.
Go tell you, but Lyon did exceptionally well, didn't he? Not only went down and stopped Senior, made sure that he got the loose ball that was stripped away.
Fitness is bound to be a key in this second half. Manly, well, this is their warm-up game, really, for the NRL defence that begins in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, the biggest problem for Leeds, of course, is that they've had to do a heck of a lot more tackling in that first 40.
Little break over the top, it finds its way to Robertson. Robertson has got Scott Donald with him. That was touched by a Leeds player. He is offside, Ablett. It's bounced off the knee. It's Brett Stewart, second try. Could have been a hat-trick. Could easily have been a hat-trick. But Brett Stewart gets try number 2. And that's a devastating blow to Leeds at the start of this second half. Brett Stewart, such a prolific try scorer for the Manly Sea Eagles. 22 times he crossed the whitewash last year. I said in the first half only Bobby Fulton and Steve Menzies have ever scored more in the history of this club, and he's showing exactly why tonight.
Beautiful interchange on the switch, got it away, nice flip over the top. The winger did everything right. Donald looked as though he was getting through, bounces all over the place. Ablett really should have taken it, he knows it as well, and Brett Stewart, as Eddie has already mentioned, made a proper meal of it after that wonderful break by Anthony Watmo. He's made amends. His coach, Des Hasler, will say, well done. You missed one, but you've dragged one back. Not many Manly fans in the crowd here tonight, but plenty to celebrate.
Our director's finding a few, though, isn't he? Anyone who's wearing a Manly jersey tonight is being picked out on the cameras. I wonder why. Matt Orford to add the extras, he's missed it.
Maybe because he was born in Australia.
He's a Manly boy, actually. You may as well tell everybody. Neville Smith, the executive producer director of Sky Sports, is a Manly boy. So at least there's one of the crew tonight will have a smile on their face, Steve.
Well, to be fair, he'll be impartial.
Oh, I doubt that. That's impossible.
He's a professional. He has to be.
I'm not talking about his ability as far as this is concerned.
Important now that Leeds really aim up. They've got to try to force the error and at least camp down in this attacking zone. Oh, look at the quick hands.
Good hands. Robertson again. He's beaten Jamie Jones-Buchanan, the kick. Oh, brilliantly too. Stewart, who's after the hat-trick, he's not going to get it, courtesy of Ryan Hall. They want to quick play the ball here. They're in all sorts of strife. What no? What no? Second try for him. There's Steve Menzies, who somehow is keeping a lid on his emotions. We're trying to interview Steve Menzies. I'll give you a little secret, but they keep scoring tries. And Watmo has scored the second try at the start of this second half. And suddenly it becomes a very, very big World Club challenge for Leeds right now.
Sheer pace, wonderful skills, great quality, quick hands, and the finish was pretty good as well. Tremendous game the second row is having. Anthony Watmo put himself in the ground. Beautiful stuff again. Look at the hands there. Matai sends away. Robertson, kick on the inside. Stewart, as always, great support play.
Was Stewart onside from that kick?
A bit late now. Great the opportunity.
The referee, Jason Robinson, didn't bother to refer it upstairs. Well, it was Can't tell from that, obviously.
No, it was in a good position.
Well, the Leeds fans in the ground here, they believe that there's a question mark about that. Orford, has he got the sight set this time? He has. It's now 22 points to 4. Manley stretching away. Well, here we are, let's have a look at it. He's onside, he's onside,
yeah,
he's onside.
He's onside, and that's good work from the official. He was running right parallel with the fullback, Brent Stewart.
He's so quick, isn't he, Stewart?
Certainly did.
So quick. And it was a perfect bounce. Well, 22-4, St Helens in 2001 and 2007 against Brisbane, Widnes against Canberra at Old Trafford on a famous night in 1989, the only teams to come from behind at half-time to win the World Club Challenge. It's just moving a little beyond Leeds now. Here is a break from Rodney, and Rodney has got support from the other substitute, Lestrange. Lestrange gives it to Matai, and Matai scores for Manly. Outstanding rugby league. Outstanding from Manly. He's not given it yet. He's handed it to Steve Ganson to take a look at. He wants to check the grounding. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, he's in full control. Fingertips either side of the ball. That is a try.
Unbelievable score. 3 tries in 6 minutes 50 seconds at the start of this second half. It's just taken the game away from Leeds almost completely. Matai gets the try. Well, I said we were trying to talk to Steve Menzies. Would somebody tell Manley to stop scoring and we can have a word with him?
Well, they did this to many sides last year in the NRL. In fact, they did it to Melbourne Storm in the grand final. I think they put 16 points on after half-time. They've just gone to show, really, that is a real ability, and you can blow your opponents away just when you come out from the after the half-time break. You effectively win the game and kill off the hopes of your opponents.
It was superb. You know, this talk back in Manly, they say that this perhaps is one of the greatest of all Manly sides, and the way that they combine and the support play is nothing short of superb. As soon as he got the ball, Matai knew exactly what was going to happen. It was not the best defence there from Bailey. They were all at sea, back on the inside. Oh, it is sheer magic. He was grinning all the way to the line. Yep, and you're not on your own, mate.
He is one of 32,500 who have groaned, and Orford has missed with the conversion. 32,500 people inside here tonight. And look at the scoreline, 26-4. Quick, before the ball's in play, Bill, get talking to Steve Menzies.
Steve, when we sat down at the start of the second half, we were going to say that really it was anybody's game. That's turned it on its head, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a good couple of 5 or 10 minutes there from the Manly side, and obviously a good chat at half-time.
What do you think that, obviously, what the strategy was when they came out at the second half to open it up a bit?
Yeah, I think they've been having a little bit of luck on the edges. They seem to be catching them a little bit short. Obviously, I think there's a couple of balls knocked down from Jamie Lyon on the right side in the first half. Maybe sort of Desi's seen something that to have a look at there.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt that Manly have come here to win this, but maybe as opposed to previous teams.
Yeah, obviously taking it pretty seriously. It just goes to show having a trial game beforehand really set them up. And we've come over and they're playing well.
Haven't finished yet.
No, hopefully they keep it going, yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
No worries, cheers.
The one advantage as well, Eddie, is the fact that, you know, they brought in Adam Cuthbertson, and he's put himself about really well, and Shane Rodney, as we've just seen in that try, working well. Oh, look at the long pass, super stuff.
Brilliant. This is their first game of 2009. Look out, the other NRL hopefuls. Oh, they've got a penalty now.
That's a bit cruel.
I wonder what that's for. Kevin Sinfield's asking as well.
Well, obviously the referee must have shouted held, otherwise it's play on. Black works hard, Sinfield's confused.
Well, he might have shouted hell, but wasn't it the Manly man who released the ball? Shouldn't it then have gone the other way, if that's the case?
Confusing. They've got to shore up their defence, though.
Brian Noble, do Leeds have any hope?
Probably not. The only reason I say that is because I'm reminded of what Phil said about this Manly team in this first 20 minutes. They don't go bad in the last 20 minutes. And we said at half-time, keep the ball away from them. Leeds have touched the ball for 3 plays this half, and what, we're 10 minutes into it? Their second play was an error down the left-hand side. Free possession for Manly.
10 metres!
Look at the possession in this second half already. And they're running now with venom. And this is Williams. They're confident. It's just oozing out of them.
Great combination, wonderful passing.
And the big fellow here just palms it down to Orford, who's seen the gap.
Play on.
That is now McDonald.
Good opportunity. Wonderful play, though, wasn't it? This Shane Rodney, he really has impressed me since he came off the bench.
It's a learning curve for Callum Watkins. He's underneath all of that. He's only 17 years of age. Peacock.
Held to.
Just wonder if he won the fight as well. Did Jamie Peacock come out with a points winner, do you think, in the fight?
No, I think it went the other way, sadly.
3.
I think we've all...
from Jamie, just the same.
I'm making no excuses. They've got a penalty. I'm making no excuses, Eddie, but, you know, to lose the halfback Rob Burrow early in the game certainly didn't help the Rhinos. I'm taking nothing away from the Manly skills that they've displayed, and there is the man. Let's hope he can get back on, and he must be itching to try to launch some sort of attack. They need something quickly.
Well, they do. That's Lulawai, who is halted by the loose forward Glenn Stewart. The thing is, they do need him on here tonight. If the game is close, if Manly start to run away with this, there is no point whatsoever in risking Rob Burrow, because there is a long and arduous Super League season lying ahead of us.
Oh, you're right. I think if Manly score another try, but it might be different if Leeds get over.
Well, there's a chance here because this is Sinfield and he's 10 metres away from the line. And now it's with Lee Smith. Manly don't want to concede anything else here. Diskin, good run. Oh.
The error count
went without,
is shocking.
Didn't he, Kylie Lulawai just went without the ball.
And to be fair, the pressure that's been applied in defence from Manly been pretty solid. You can see Jason King, he put himself about in there. Lulawai couldn't keep control of it.
Back it up. Thank you.
I made the point midway through that first half, Eddie, in regards to, remember, against Harlequins, we said the fact that Manly have this wonderful ability to keep hold of the ball for long periods of time. And we certainly showed that in the second half.
Good tackle from Watkins on Steve Matai. 17-year-old on one of the best in the world. He slipped then as he tried to play the ball, Matai. Well, Manly's first 2 premierships were achieved with the outstanding Malcolm Reilly at loose forward. You remember him, of course, 1972 and 1973, and there's been a lot of British connections between these shores and Manly. Steve Norton, Gary Stevens, Phil Lowe were in the title-winning side of 1976.
Up, Jamie! Hold, go. 4.
It's now with Orford. Orford to Glenn Stewart. He bounces off one. He's trying to get away from Ablett, and he's got Lulawai on his back as well. Orford down centre field, picked up by Scott Donald. Gets as far as Anthony Watmo. It's all gone a little quiet inside Elland Road, Phil, hasn't it?
I think Leeds are suffering from the work they had to do in the first half, and then they've also, I mean, still trying to recover. That's one of the interesting parts of rugby league, really. When your opponents put 2 or 3 quick tries on the board, how do you react? What do? Do you retreat within your shell, or do you continue to play the things that you practiced all week leading up to the game? And that's the test for Leeds now, particularly having lost Rob Burrow. Can they find the shape? Can they have players running? Otherwise, it just becomes one-man individual efforts.
It's Jamie Peacock put on his ground on his back on tackle number 4. Disc into Sinfield. Sinfield flicks it back. Ablett, good ball. Maguire. There's always defenders in reserve, though, it seems, for Manly.
Yeah, but that was good play by Leeds. They'll gain the confidence.
Senior is trapped on the last.
He's lost it. That'll be the turnover. Tried to sneak it away before the official blew the whistle. Non-forthcoming. I've been impressed also by the way that Manly, the back 3, they work overtime. If there's a half break.
Looks like he's keen to get on, doesn't he, Rob Burrow? He's warming up, dropping the hints to Brian McLennan. They just need a try, Leeds, just to build a little bit of confidence. Hit with 3 tries at the start of the second half. Stewart, Watmo and Matai. That's turned the game completely. Watmo brilliantly again, gets it to Lestrange.
But what tries? They were just superb, out of the top drawer.
Very much so. Matai again. And throttle tackle. It's the second effort, really, from Jamie Jones-Buchanan that's been pinged by Jason Robinson.
Well, there's barely a facial, but the rule book states.
Brett Stewart, by the way, and Anthony Watmo on 2 tries. We have never yet had a hat-trick in these World Club challenges. What price one now?
Don't hold your breath on that one.
This is Glenn Hall for Manly. Lestrange, the dummy half. Here's Glenn Stewart. Lestrange again. Grand final winner, only his 24th appearance last year for Manly, Heath Lestrange.
It's pretty to watch how Manly utilise the dummy runners, not just on the odd occasion, but nearly all the time. The work off the ball has been superb tonight.
Last tackle here for Manly. Lestrange again. Bailey goes wide and finds Lyon, who's dropped it. Senior pounces on the mistake. Referee calls it the 0 tackle.
Not the best pass.
Great hit. What a hit on Lee Smith from Hall, that was. This is Peacock. He'll be stinging and hurting as a result of this scoreline just now, Jamie Peacock.
He doesn't deserve to be on the losing side.
Oh, he said play on. He said play on. It's a penalty to Manly, this. He said play on and he played the ball.
That's a bit harsh.
I call play on because he broke the tackle.
I'm just trying to make the point that the fullback, Lee Smith, has been outstanding for Leeds. He really has stood up to the plate tonight.
Well, the referee called play on. I think Kevin Sinfield said that they believed he said play it.
I can't understand why you would penalise Leeds for that, because all they've done is penalise themselves by using up one of the 6 tackles that you're allowed in the sport of rugby league. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me.
But if he's called the tackle held, which he did, or rather called the tackle not held, which he did, he has to penalise him for it, doesn't he? Anyway, here is Rodney, and they're the Leeds posts.
Watch for the dummy runners now.
Well, Lestrange is organising and marshalling. Here is Bailey, short ball on the angled run.
They're so well drilled. You've got to give a lot of credit to Des Hasler, their coach. He works overtime.
Good defence here, though, from Leeds on show. Can they hold out for another 2 tackles? Lestrange again, back to Bailey. Will come up the middle. Took a clatter from Ryan Bailey. Now then, will they dink it to the in-goal area, go for another set of 6? They're not going to get another set of 6. That was maybe a bit of a swinging arm from Watmo.
Again, great positioning by Lee Smith. He's had to work overtime. Not many opportunities, though, for the Leeds wingers, Ryan Hall and Scott Donald. Look how that Manly defence come in on the angle. They're virtually forcing Leeds into one-out football time and time again.
Well, they're on course to be the first Australian winners since 2003, but what has Ryan Hall got to say about it all? Good
He's
play.
got away again.
Good play from him. Here's Sinfield. Peacock. Watmo's all over him. Back comes Rodney to help out. That's the last tackle for Leeds.
Surely the high bomb.
There it is from Sinfield. Stewart's underneath it. Maguire is hunting it. Stewart gets it. Thinking about releasing them down that right-hand side. Williams is tackled.
How cool was the fullback there, Brent Stewart, should I say. Not only took the football, but just ambled across, waited for his man to come through, made valuable ground forward.
Now it's Jason King. Oh, offloads the ball to Matai. Leeds funneling back, scrambling to get him down. Into the last quarter, you do fear that a lot of this defensive work that Leeds have had to do will take its toll late on. This is Lestrange. That's the last one. Last tackle then for Manly. Bailey puts ball to air. Ryan Hall's underneath it. Williams. He drilled him into the ground. That's Jamie Lyon to bring Hall down. Here goes Senior now. They need a flash of inspiration from somewhere, Brian. Where's it going to come from?
They need to be not patient, but they need to recognise that all those 50-50 things that Manly do, they make you pay the price. They handed the ball over there, and even the winger was determined to make Ryan Hall pay the price. So this penalty might give them some respite now.
Yes, that's a golden penalty from the Leeds Rhinos.
You can see there that Anthony Watmo, he was out of the blocks far too quickly. But what a game that man's had.
So Leeds inside the Manly half. Can they do something with this possession? Give themselves and their supporters hope. Lee Smith. He's not giving it away, is he? Diskin waiting at dummy half and holding down. Watmo again. Interference in the tackle. It's another penalty for Leeds. Maybe Manly starting to feel the pinch now as we pass the hour mark, eh? Lauatiti. Big Ali Lauatiti. Good run.
A little bit more running from Matt Diskin now, just to make sure the first and second markers work hard. That's better.
Peacock. Jamie Peacock for Leeds. Just short. 2 tackles though, plenty in the bank. Manly a bit slower to get off the tackled player than they were not long ago, but Maguire going nowhere. Down he goes, wrestled to the floor. It's Diskin! Matt Diskin, but they can't get through that 3-man solid wall of defence. Lyon there, pointing, shouting. Not the best pass on the bounce to Sinfield. Here is Ryan Bailey.
Kick to the right-hand side corner, surely it's on.
It's a penalty to Leeds.
On the last.
Well, they just had 5 tackles, Eddie, and they didn't really ask that many questions of Manly defence. They get another 5 or 6 here. What can they do this time? Individual efforts, I don't think will get you through at this stage in the game.
Bailey gets to his feet, plays it to Diskin. Diskin then to Sinfield, looks for the runner. The runner has arrived, and it is Kirk who plays it to Diskin, to Maguire. And here is Lee Smith. Now there's chances here. Lee Smith though went inside. He had Watkins and Donald outside him.
Second phase has to be better.
Maguire. Maguire spinning. Just short again from Maguire. 3 Manly players bring him down. Ablett's the dummy half this time. Back it comes to Sinfield. Sinfield running laterally. Still going laterally, Sinfield. Now he straightens it up. Looks for support. Lauatiti, senior! Try for Leeds! Just what they needed. With 17 minutes remaining, just what the Leeds Rhinos needed from the veteran. Keith Senior, his first try in one of these clashes, and it might have come at just the right time.
Great work from Leeds, mainly due to the forward, especially the hooker Matt Diskin. Two little forays from dummy half and went down the middle, dragged in the Manly defence, and once they got the link working, they stood off. Sinfield did well, offload, Lauatiti, spin it out. And the old fella Senior, he made short of that one. Probably the first time this half that Leeds have found a chink out wide. Super off-road, offload by Lauatiti. Is there enough time? No doubt Brian McLennan, the Leeds coach, will get the message out. They're not giving this one up.
Great kick. Great kick this time from Kevin Sinfield. 26-10. I wonder now whether we will see Rob Burrow emerge. I wonder now whether Brian McLennan will be tempted to throw the little fella back on.
You know, the principles of this game are quite simple. You need to get close to your opponent's line and somehow get over it. That was 10 tackles that Leeds had on the Manly try line. They were given 2 penalties and eventually found the creation and the ability to get the ball wide to space and score. They need to get back down to that part of the field, Eddie, as quickly as possible, in whatever means possible.
The kick-off is right to the Leeds goal line. Smith's underneath it. Here comes Peacock. Now, has that try from Keith Senior re-energised this Leeds Rhinos team? Well, this might. Oh no, it's a penalty to Manly.
Well, is that obstruction by Keith Senior? Oh, come on. I know he's there, but they barely went for a hug. Jason King said, well, we'll do the waltz. He joined in, but penalised.
So here come Manly now in the shape of Glenn Hall. 5 metres away from the line. Matt Orford, the danger man. Matai on the angle. Run, Steve Matai. Lestrange is the dummy half. Orford. Bailey. Rodney. Oh. Lost ground there, and that's the understatement of the season so far. Heath Lestrange again. Waiting at dummy half. Goes down the short side with Jamie Lyon.
That's good play as well by Lyon. Take it on the blind side, just settle things down. Okay, it wasn't the best pass.
Interesting in the build-up to this match, Jamie Lyon says he fancies a return to Super League in the not-too-distant, and has asked St Helens to come a-courting. It's Matt Orford. High kick, Donald's underneath it, ball has bounced, and it's a tap on the 20. Oh, Manly are furious. They are furious, they believe it should be a goal line dropout.
Now I think it's been...
I think the touch judges said the same.
Or the fourth official, maybe a word in the ear of Mr. Robinson. Just have a little look at it.
It's off Donald. I think Manly have a case.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, that's off Donald.
Yeah, the right arm of Donald is definitely going to it. Pretty difficult, to be fair. The referee, Steve Ganson.
Yeah, it's a goal line dropout. Nothing's going Leeds' way, is it?
It was a nice kick, to be fair, by Manly. They apply the pressure. Donald's not too impressed. He'd be happy. Keep just glancing up at the scoreline. He won't rest easy, though. There's Hasler. As near to a perfectionist you'll ever come across.
This is George Rose.
One of the fittest men I think I've ever seen in my life, says Hasler.
George Rose is coming back after missing the best part of the last 2 years, by the way.
Held to. Move!
Bailey goes for a piggyback. Heath Lestrange. He can't touch Lestrange because he was in an offside position.
Held straight. Move!
That's the third tackle, and look where they are again, camped underneath the Leeds post. Bailey, not the best. Just losing their way a little.
just a little bit too fancy. Lackadaisical coming into their play. It's maybe they're looking at the clock and saying, well, at 26-10, surely Leeds can't get 16 points back.
Shane Rodney with the mistake, the ex-Penrith man, came to Manly in the close season. Must say their blistering start to this second half, though, was just...
Oh, they blew them away, didn't they?
Something to behold.
Yeah.
Sinfield.
Sheer quality.
Penalty here.
Your second movement's gone straight to his neck.
Glenn Hall, not happy with it.
Well, he attacked the head, and there it is, the arm round the neck. 13 penalties to Leeds, 11 to Manly. He likes the whistle, doesn't he, Jason Robinson?
Up, Steve!
Most of them do.
Here's another one. Use of the elbow this time.
Got it. Forearm all over his head. Get that rubbish out.
Just a touch. Mr. Matai. Listen to the crowd lift here.
Well, 2 penalties earlier, and Leeds scored from the second one. They've got a chance here. It's the same wing. Lautiti, senior. Oh, dear.
Good build-up. Well, they had a trolley full of goods, didn't they? They forgot the credit card, the checkout.
You know when you make that second movement, you're going to get caught. Right?
TT causing a few problems out here on the left centre. And Manly will be in no rush to set this scrum.
Needle up, boys. Heads down, Rhinos.
Been a great performance, though, hasn't it, all round by the Manly outfit of, as you say, Eddie, the blitz straight after half-time.
There's your 10.
It's remarkable.
Move.
Sheer quality.
Jamie.
Champagne rugby league football.
Manly lost the first 2 of 2008 to Cronulla and Newcastle, yet they still went on to win the grand final. 40 points to 0 against Melbourne, who had beaten them in the grand final the previous year. They exacted swift revenge.
They lost 3 of their opening 5 games of the season as well, which might just cheer up 1 or 2 of the Wigan fans at the moment.
Wigan and Warrington.
Held 5 up.
Watmo gets to his feet. Lestrange again. Orford, up it goes.
Outside.
Smith is backpedaling.
Outside.
Oh, what height on that kick.
And it came down right underneath the crossbar as well. Could have bounced anywhere. As it is, it bounced over the dead ball line. The crowd unhappy because it's controlled restart from that situation. Jason Robinson making sure it was completely controlled. Senior did well. Get it away to Maguire. Here is Luke Burgess.
They're getting into that zone now that Leeds, they've got to try everything. Little chips over, spinning the tackle, keep the ball alive. They've got to take risks, which is pretty dangerous against a Manly side that can snap up the ball. They've got the speed out wide.
Diskin. Just perhaps an element of fatigue coming into the Manly squad at the moment, which is understandable. Lauatiti, great ball. Ryan Hall in the corner for Leeds. It was the money ball from Lauatiti, and Ryan Hall over in the corner. A crucial try in the grand final, by the way, as Leeds beat St Helens 24-16. I think the sands of time are against him, but that could be a crucial try in this World Club Challenge.
I made the point that the big fella, Ali Lauatiti, was causing all sorts of problems for the Manly defence out there on that right-hand side. That was a great effort, wasn't it? Well finished, but Lauatiti picked the ball up from dummy half on the run. Look at this. Didn't swoop it, picked it up like a sea eagle would. Bang! Against it, whip, straight away. Great combination.
Whoa! Have a look at this, by the way. You can probably tell what's happened by the noise in the background. In off the post. 16-26. Hope springs eternal. Fatigue for Manly, perhaps.
Oh, give full credit to the second row on Ali Lauatiti. He's a man that's turned it around up there on the left-hand side.
Is we've got, what have we got left? About 8-9 minutes? Have Manly got enough energy left, Phil?
Well, you know what? They've embraced sports science more than any other club in rugby league, and they are one of the fittest sides in Australia and probably the world. They really do know where their bodies are and how they can get to peak performance. So I don't think that's as much the case. I just think that Leeds here now have had some good possession in the right part of the field, and now just chancing their arm a little bit will score, but they have to get out to the half at Leeds. Can Sinfield make a break?
Not on this occasion.
Just shows you the influence it has when you have possession for any length of time, and that's certainly been the way in regards for Leeds.
And they got a couple of quick penalties as well, didn't they, Leeds?
A run of penalties which got them good field position.
Maguire, this is where they think the key is, down this left channel. Senior.
Oh, forward. Good work though by David Williams, had to be, but the crowd lifted. Senior making the break. This is where Manly have to just regroup, just trying to offload. You can't sort of blame Senior. They're at the moment where they know they've got to try everything. This is where Des Hasler will get the message out. Come on, forwards, down, keep it quiet. And it's dummy half there, Matt Orford, he'll steer them through it.
Just feel that they do actually need just one more try, Manly, just to steady the ship. If Leeds get the next try, look out. Oh, Orford has skipped through a couple. Orford! Oh, Orford! Well, the tackling was awful until then. They now have a penalty, and here we go again. Anglo-Australian relations in the World Cup Challenge are not of their best. Kevin Sinfield tried to act as peacemaker. They nearly ended up in the crowd. They were very close to the photographers.
Sort of hands across the ocean. Well, sort of. Clenched hands across the ocean.
Surely it would be hands across the hemisphere. Right.
Yeah,
what a run from Orford.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. As you say, Ed, it wasn't the best defence. And I think you see there was a little dig there by Lee Smith, and Matt Ballin didn't like it, and then it was all on. The referee had already given the penalty to Manly Warringah. Most of them are trying to calm Mr. Bailey down.
Clock is now stopped, and the referee wants a word with Kevin Sinfield.
Sorry. Got the original penalty for a blatant hold down against your Blakes, okay? What happened from both teams is a massive overreaction. We've only got a few minutes left. I want you to keep your Blakes under control because I won't bring out the yellow card next time, okay?
I've got that, Jace.
Yep.
My problem is, last time there was a blow-up, our man got penalised for throwing the first. Now they've thrown the first punch. I know the penalty's gone. They've run around throwing the first punch there and started a big melee.
That's right, but the penalty, the penalty's already gone, mate. You know I can't do anything about that. I want to speak to this player while you're present.
Right, well, Kevin Sinfield, as you heard there, is instructed to tell his players just to calm down. He said there's 4.5 minutes left to play, and the next card will not be yellow. By the way, while he's having a word with Matt Diskin and Kevin Sinfield, let me tell you, the Carnegie man of the match tonight, it probably comes as no surprise whatsoever, is the Australian second-row forward Anthony Watmoe. He has had an outstanding match. Absolutely outstanding.
Well deserved. Sheer quality.
There he is, the man of the match.
4.5 minutes to go. If you guys want us to play
now being
with
ticked off by the referee.
That rubbish stops now. You've got the penalty. Penalty to them. Yep.
Well, will they go for the 2, or will they try to get more? A good debate out there. Water carriers out there probably giving the message. They've gone for the 2.
Yes, they're just going to calm it down completely. Yep.
No point in anybody sort of picking up a serious broken nose or a broken jaw, which can occur when, as Brian Noble said, hands across the hemisphere.
The thing that Leeds have done, Brian, though, is they have actually given a little bit of respectability to the scoreline, haven't they, here? They could have been easily just brushed aside after that blitz start.
I think Leeds, had they been a little bit closer with the last 20 minutes, had a chance of winning because of the reasons we alluded to at half-time. Manly are very, very strong just after the half, and they didn't play the right way. They gave the ball away and then didn't touch it for 13 minutes. And then for them to win, for me, they had to be close. They had to be within 2 scores, for example, with 20 minutes to go. I think they'd have kicked on there, because we have seen an element of fatigue from this Manly side towards the back end. That's natural with them not having any games.
Orford adds the 2 points you see from the penalty, 28 points to 16. Manly are going to take the trophy home. There is no doubt about that. I think we found all 40 Manly fans tonight.
It'll be a big celebration as well, especially for the club. As we said earlier, they've never ever won this World Club Challenge. They can add to...
Oh, they've got it back from the short kick-off. Jamie Jones-Buchanan here. Matai under enormous pressure. This is Diskin. Here is Sinfield, whose kick produced this possession for them. Burgess now.
Lautiti's out on the left yet again.
That's where the danger is. They're going that way. Here is Maguire. Here's Lautiti. Deciding this time to come up on his own. Diskin, short ball, Senior, good defence. Good defence, Jamie Lyon. Wants to play quickly, Big Ali Lautiti, out the back door, and that is Lee Smith. Last tackle here. Can Leeds just get a little bit more consolation? They might do. Jamie Jones! Wonderful tackle. Wonderful tackle from the fullback, Brett Stewart.
Unbelievable. The big fella careering for the line, and not surprisingly, the skipper Matt Orford said, well done. Slightly forward perhaps, but what a great piece of defence from Brett Stewart.
Into the last 2 minutes. Oh, they've lost it though. It was stolen
a penalty, yeah. You can't blame Leeds for trying to reef it away, maybe just pull the wool over the eyes of Jason Robinson.
26 penalties from him last week against Warrington Cattle and Dragons. 27 in the World Club Challenge tonight.
Maybe he likes records. Certainly broken one tonight. To be fair to the official, though, there has been a lot of scrappy play.
Yeah, and penalties that were
there's a lot of
obvious.
There's a lot of spite been in this game, as we've had 2 good punch-ups. Sorry, bad punch-ups. You never have a good one.
This is Josh Perry.
Up now!
Cuthbertson. He's lost it.
That's a loose carry, boys.
Loose carry, knock on inside the last minute. 28-16.
20 into the 20 when you got 6 yet.
Manly will go home with the Carnegie World Club Challenge for 2009.
If you count 4 in the front row.
90 seconds remaining. Will Leeds at least attempt the kick and chase?
He'll be disappointed, Brian McLennan, because his focus on the opening 3 weeks of the season has been on this night. And remember what happened last year. They won against Melbourne. They went in the following week to Castleford and were beaten. Well, Leeds have got to travel to Warrington next weekend. Senior, high stepping to the line. Maguire! Maguire gets the last word. Danny Maguire. It is respectable, the scoreline. It was a wonderful run from the veteran Chief Senior, and Maguire doing what he does so well, backing up the man in possession. It won't win them the World Cup Challenge this year. His try in 2005 helped, but it gives us something to think about as we all go home tonight.
Well, I anticipated the kick and chase, but it was poor defence from Jamie Lyon. He came round out of position. Full credit to Danny Maguire. Had the legs right into the corner. Senior's had a big game in this second half as well. He certainly was inspired by the introduction of the big second rower, Ali Lautiti. It's mere icing on a losing cake, but credibility at least.
5 tries to 4. Sinfield with the conversion. He's missed it. It's all over. 20 points to 28. Manly have won the World Club Challenge. British clubs have won it each and every year for the past 5 years. Manly break the spell. They become the first Australian winners since the Roosters beat St Helens at Bolton in 2003. And possibly appropriate that the first Australian club to take part in a World Club Challenge in 1987, when they lost against Wigan, have come over this time and have taken the trophy home. But 28 points to 20, Brian, that is respectable. Come to that in a minute. Here's the Manly skipper, Matt Orford, with Bill.
Matt, another 5 minutes, that might got a bit worrying.
Mate, yeah, we were starting to get a bit worried there, and we always knew they were never going to go away, and to Leeds' credit, they kept coming and kept coming. They're a big team, and mate, they threw a lot at us, but credit to our boys, we got away with it.
Was that the fatigue setting in, perhaps?
I think so. I think we need a bit more match fitness, but look, I think overall we got what we wanted, and the boys put a great effort in tonight, and it was an enormous experience in this crowd, and the boys are going to enjoy it now.
Let's head over to where you're going to get the presentation, but I think it was the start of the second half that was crucial, wasn't it?
It was. The coach spoke about at half-time, we wanted to be the first team to put points on the board, and we're lucky enough to put a couple in a row, so I think that really set the game up.
And what was the key? What did you come out thinking you're going to attack that? Because it was down that left-hand side, wasn't it?
No, we didn't have a set plan. We just wanted to hold on to the ball and get great field position. It was just guys were sort of put themselves in the right spot at the right time, and great support play and pushing on every play, and we got the points.
It's a great feeling, though, to come over here and do Leeds in their own backyard.
Yeah, it is. It's a great experience. First time for a lot of us in the UK, and on a big stage like this, to take the trophy back to Australia, all the boys are very proud.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well done to Matt Orford, well done to Manly. Brian, to that point, I think I was talking about respectability, wasn't I
think a little bit more than respectability. I think they'll be ruining the fact that they got that 12-13 minutes at the start of the second half where they blew Leeds away. In essence, they'd gotten back into the game just before half-time. They were within one score and a kick, if you like, and all they needed to do was keep the ball away for that 15-minute. Phil gave them the warning, they just weren't listening to Phil. Perhaps they should have been listening to the television. They scored that many points of that 20-minute period. Don't give them the ball then. They were always going to tie in that last 20, so they needed to be in touch. But, you know, they'll rue this fact, Leeds.
Anthony Watmoe wins the Man of the Match award, as we told you. He has received his trophy. And in a moment, the Manly players will go up and pick up the Carnegie World Club Challenge trophy for 2009. A well-deserved victory. It was won, Steve-O, in the first half and obviously in the opening 10 minutes of the second.
Yeah, scintillating period of play where they showed their full skill factor in there, but the one thing you've got to be proud of is, if you're a Leeds fan, is the fact they didn't collapse. They produced the same sort of skills in the grand final down under, and they just completely run away with it. Maybe Manly thought they could do exactly the same, but full credit to Leeds, they dug in. They scored the last 3 tries, Senior, Hall and Maguire, but it was mere consolation in the end.
Up they come for the commemorative medals. They've travelled a long way to collect those. Steve Matai, who scored their last try. Magnificent team effort, and well, I wonder how they will go in their defence of the Premiership in the NRL this year. Jamie Lyon wants to come back to Super League. Well, I'm sure the welcome mat will be out wherever he ends up. But that's what all the fuss has been about for the past couple of hours. The trophy there, which will be on the plane going home with Manly in the morning. Des Hasler, the coach, done a fantastic job. And Matt Orford now gets his medal, and Manly win the World Club Challenge in 2009. Bill, they're a great side.
Yeah, the scoreboard says there wasn't much difference between these two teams today, but I think the passing accuracy and skill level of the Manly side was far superior to that from the Leeds Rhinos. for all the people watching in this game, those involved coaching at junior and amateur level, I think there was a lesson to be learned in the accuracy at times under pressure of putting the ball where the man wants it, and that was the biggest thing that I'll take over this game. Well done, Manly. Pretty good rugby from both sides. They just had the nod.
Yes, commiserations to the Leeds Rhinos, the Super League champions, beaten this year. No team then has ever retained this trophy. The Leeds over the next 9 months will be hell-bent on making sure that they will have another tilt at it in 12 months' time. It's going to Australia, that piece of silverware. Well done to them. There's live action across all 4 Sky Sports channels tonight. Golf, the WGC Accenture match play is next here on Sky Sports 1. Cricket, West Indies England continues right now on Sky Sports 2 and in high definition on HD2. We've got NASCAR with the Shelby 427 at 9:30 Sky Sports 3, and Spanish football, Real Betis taking on Villarreal next on Sky Sports Extra. Fantastic live action still to come. Thursday, the varsity match, Oxford against Cambridge. Sky Sports 3 at 7:30, and then next weekend, of course, we have the full Super League weekend coming up for you. Well done to Manly. They have beaten our Super League champions, but not disgraced, only by 8 points. 20 points to 28. From all of us here at Elland Road, it's good night.